episode 077.
This is Lisa Harvey-Smith. I studied astrophysics and I'm now the Australian Government's Women in STEM Ambassador and an astrophysics researcher. Success for me is feeling content and happy in anything that I'm doing. I'm feeling that I'm doing the right thing. So when your activities are aligned with your beliefs and your value system, so that's contentment and that's happiness for me. That's success for me.
Welcome to Innovator Diaries, a show where influencers and leaders from all walks of life share their story and experiences. You learn the strategies and action points that have helped them find success and get to where they are today. You'll hear their stories and valuable advice to help you on your own path. These messages may also help somebody you know, so please share. Lisa, thank you so much for your time today. I'm very excited to talk to you because I think what you're doing is extremely important. And I am sure that during all the talk, you're going to give a lot of advice and a lot of expert points of view. So thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
So perhaps to start, could you please tell me a little bit about your childhood and who was the most influential person in that stage of your life?
Well, that's hard to say, really. I grew up with my mum and my dad being really big influences on my life. Like a lot of people, your parents give you different things and different perspectives on life. My mum was a head teacher at the local primary school, and she was a very strong and able, member of the community, someone leading the community, leading the local school. And she was also my teacher too. So when I went to primary school, she was there.
Okay.
She was teaching me. So she was a great role model for me. But my dad too, an amazing role model. When I was 11 years old, I finished primary school and I went to, instead of high school, I went to learn at home. So I was actually home educated. And my dad was the one who sort of came up with that idea, and he was at home with me and, was a big influence on my life too. So I think it's important to have lots of different role models. I was certainly also influenced by a number of different people, from sports coaches to, people in the local astronomy club who helped me to build my excitement about space and astronomy. And lots and lots of different adults, I suppose, who just took the time to spend a bit of time with me and help me, build my confidence and build my expertise. And I'm glad that's something I can pay back now.
Yeah, great. And for example, you mentioned that since a very young age, you started to love astronomy and all of that. Do you remember like a specific point of time when this interest was triggered?
Yeah, I remember a few points when my interest in astronomy was really exploded onto the scene. I think I remember the first time I'd ever even thought about looking at the stars was when I was 6 and Halley's Comet was in the sky. And that was beautiful because it was on the news. It was a big, event around the world and people were looking for this beautiful comet in the sky. I actually never saw it, but me and my dad looked for it a number of nights. And we ended up not seeing the comet, but we just saw the stars. And for the first time, that was a real kind of connection to space. It was around the same time when the Space Shuttle Challenger very tragically exploded and there were teachers on board, and NASA had made a big event out of this particular launch because there were, not non-traditional astronauts on board. So it was around that time that I got fascinated by space and astronomy. And really the hobby went from there. And I remember when I was 12, I first saw the planets. And I really, really got into astronomy. From that point, I saw the planet Mars.
Want to listen to the entire interview? Simply go to innovatordiaries.com/episode number. Or you can find this episode and hundreds of other great stories on Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, or whatever your favorite podcast player is. Please check me out on LinkedIn. Follow or connect with me as I'm very proactive on that social network. And finally, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll get all the new stories as soon as they're released. See you next time.